welcome once again, whoever you are, wherever you're watching from, and whenever you're watching this, to our daily Limbus company ID study, Mirror Dungeon, book and book reading. You might have noticed that we were starting a little earlier today. That's because I scheduled all the streams for this week to be an hour earlier, and from now on we are doing all streams an hour earlier. Because, well, I needed some time after, stream to properly sleep, and I was sleeping way too late, and among other things. But now we're starting an hour earlier. I hope it doesn't get too much in the way. In any case, here we are today with LCA Udjat Vanguard Team Tree leader Outis. Second, I forgot to open my notes here. So, hello, Acidic Trauma, I see you there. And yes, we are starting a little bit earlier. Well, that's the second as I'm setting something up here on my end. Everything should be ready. Everything should be good. Right, let's get down to ID studying. Now, we have reached a bit of a problem, which I didn't expect to happen all that soon, but I have to consider we've been doing this for 60 episodes now, and I was going to run out of ideas at some point, right? So, it is my pleasures or concern to tell all of you that we have efficiently revealed almost every single ID in Limbus Company. The only ones that are left that I have not touched for once is Lobotomy, Eagle, Faint Solitude, and Hornet Alteration. I have used this for a gun run once, but I don't know how they work exactly. And the upcoming card for Blade of the House of Spiders. And, well, LCA, Udjat, Outis. So this I'm gonna have to start taking recommendations from teams, because I really ran out of IDs to review unless they review a pack of IDs, and I still have to wait a week because I'm not rolling for them, because materials for Walpurgis. Anyway, let's not delay any further. Let's get down to Outis. Let me just write some things down here as usual for our notes. This isn't a very complicated ID, but she is going to be solo. Ah, you got the Ryoshu. Congratulations. I'm gonna be getting her the day after tomorrow. Yeah, the day after tomorrow. And we're gonna be doing a solo run with her. Anyway, LCA Udjat Vanguard Team Tree leader Outis has 244 HP, 47 speed, 63 defense level. She is fatal to blunt, but resistant against slash. Res slash. She possesses the sins of pride, sloth, and gloom. Ah, obrigado, mãe. Sorry about that. Yeah. Pride, sloth, and gloom. The ID is broken. Trust me, I believe you. Again, most of the modern IDs really don't keep up with whatever has been placed before. This is something I discussed at length yesterday. If you weren't present, yesterday we used the index, and I figured out what their problem is, and it isn't really that big a problem, honestly. The reason why the index is so overpowered is that they gain far too much damage up and offense level up. In any case, Udjat Outis, 244 HP, 47 speed, 63 of defense level, pride, sloth, gloom with a gloom guard. No, nothing fancy here, no super skills, no super nothing, a simple gloom guard, no enhanced skill tree. Let's check her passive. The Scepter of Horus, replica. Oh my, this sounds like a relic. Turn start. If an enemy has any of the panic type changing effects, gain 1, the Udjat Vanguard. If this unit has Udjat Vanguard, inflict Shot Fracture on hit with a base attack skill, 15 per turn. If LCA Fracture round was spent, inflict an additional Shot Fracture per LCA Fracture round spent. Now, what is the Udjat Vanguard? It has maximum of 2 stacks, gain max speed of 3, meaning max speed, gains 1 protection, gain the following effects during the combat phase, once per skill, 3 times per turn. When this unit it's the main target of an unopposed attack skill, have the chance for the skill's first coin to flip head. Wow. Clash start. If the first clash have the target chance to flip heads for all of its coins. For both of the above effects, if the target uses minus coins, have their chance to turn tails instead. Turn end reduces 1 stack. That is a crazy good passive. Holy shit. Apple. Again, bad habit of eating on string, I apologize. Anyway, the Udjat here is incredibly good. Not only we gain protection and become faster, we directly influence the enemy's chance to roll tails or heads for their attacks, and on a clash it affects every coin. This is crazy. And the only way to activate this is the enemy has a panic type changing effect. Right, Shot Fracture. It's a unique sinking that has a maximum of 10 stacks. For every stack, you take 1% more damage from Sloth and Gloom attacks, which is our skill 2 and 3 here. At max stack, you gain 1 Gloom Fragility, take Gloom damage equal to sinking potency on self, and loses 1 sinking count, then expires. If the unit that has this effect dies, transfer half of its stacks to its ally that has the highest speed. If there are no LCA and it's on the field, expires. So we can't have this effect after she dies, so it's only if she's on the field. Alright, protection stack gained from this unit's base skills and the Udjat Vanguard effect is capped by 5 per turn, so we can have up to 50% damage reduction naturally. Alright, now for her unique passive, which is Vanguard Thing. At a 3 Gloom Resonance, we deal 5% damage for every protection on self to a maximum of 15%. Combat start, we gain through the Udjat Vanguard, which is that incredibly powerful passive, only by doing a Resonance. Though the trick about this ID really is just Gloom 3 times Resonance for Vanguard. I mean, as long as we do it turn yes, turn no, it's very good. But we also deal more damage based on our protection. This is quite unique. Let's see. Skill 1, Kopesh Swordplay. 3 base power, 4 coin power, 2 coins, slash pride with a 61 offense level. Hello Moises, how you doing? 344, that is a classic 11 roller, gains aggro, coin power based on tremor and sinking on the target. So 2 levels of escalation. This is a classic 11, 13, 15. If this unit has the Udjat Vanguard, it gains additional clash power, and we inflict Shot Fracture on clash win. On hit, we inflict sinking count and tremor count, and we gain that protection next turn, once per turn. This is a goddamn tanky ID. It's the Udjat. I have used the Udjat back in Library Ruin. I know how tanky they are. Skill 2, Mirrored Incision. 4 base power, 4 coin power, 3 coins, 16 roller. Slash damage, Sloth affinity, 62 offense level, attack weight of 1. Gains 5 aggro on use, gains coin power based on the sum of sinking and tremor on the target to a maximum of 2. So 2 levels of escalation. On a 3 coin skill that rolls a 16, we got a 19 and a 22 roller. If this unit has the Vanguard, we gain 2 additional clash power and we deal 30% more damage. On a clash win, we inflict Shot Fracture, we inflict sinking and tremor count, and on the last hit we inflict a lot of sinking and a lot of tremor, well, 2 of each, and gain a 1 protection next turn. So we don't have lots of sinking potency here, just count really. This unit applies a lot of count. That is pretty good. Right, moving on to her skill 3. 6 base power, 4 coin power with 3 coins, Pierce Gloom with a 63 offense level and attack weight of 1. With 6 base power and 4 coin power on a 3 coiner, that is a 18 roller, but as usual, skills 3 tend to escalate kinda wildly, so 18 roller base. If this unit has the Udjat Vanguard, we deal more damage. Gains aggro at 6 plus sum of sinking and tremor on target, we gain additional coin power, turning this into a 6/5/5/5, so a 21. Attack end, we gain protection next turn, and a 2 fewer LCA fracture round, we reload 5 times per encounter. I'll be honest, this skill isn't rolling all that high for +1 coin power, and sticks 5/5/5. That is just a 21 roller. Our skill 2 rolls, let's see, 16 with 2 levels of escalation, that's 19. Our skill 2 rolls higher than this skill 3. Interesting. But it inflicts lots of sinking and tremor, deals a lot of damage based on the bullets spent, inflicts sinking, and we inflict a unique status effect called Blue Sand. Blue Sand. On Clash Lose, gains 1 sinking count. SP units change their panic type to Blue Sand. Non-SP units mean max speed -1. Turn end, reduce 1 stack. This effect is not cumulative. Inflicting it will replace the current value with the inflicted value. Very nice. Gloom resistance down and spends more bullets, inflicts sinking. If trigger tremor burst, then reduce target tremor burst. If the target is SP unit, trigger tremor burst, then reduce the tremor count by 1. Or if the target has less than 0 SP, inflicts 1 gloom fragility. So while this skill cannot roll very high, it shits out debuffs on the enemy. Lots of sinking count, lots of tremor count. It bursts tremor twice if the enemy is an SP unit. And the more bullets we spend, the more damage we do, at least with the first one. We also apply Gloom Resist Down, which is a damage multiplier of 0.1, which is quite rare, and we have Gloom Fragility as well. This is quite a unique skill tree here. Not a high roller, but definitely a high damage skill. So this unit is following one of the older ID's philosophy, where its skill 2 is actually rolling higher than the skill 3, but the skill 3 is dealing most damage. Very interesting. Defense, Composure, with a 15 base power and 5 coin power and a 65 defense level. When hit, while this unit has shield, we inflict 3 sinking against the attacker 3 times per turn. If this unit has the Udjat Vanguard, we gain a protection, and for every protection on itself, we gain a shield equal to 5% of this unit's max HP, max 15 once per turn. You're not escaping me, you fat ass. Look at this fat ass cat. Oh, this way. Ah, you are a cute little cat, aren't you? Go there. You are so fat. You are so chubby. Anyway, let's see here. Sorry, kind of out of focus here. All right, where did I stop? Right, shield. This is a very interesting ID. Again, it is using the classic skill 1, skill 2 escalation, 11, 13 to 15, and then 16 to 19 to 22. So these 2 skills here are following the new philosophy of power escalation. Not anything crazy on the offense and defense level. This unit is pretty much a tremor and sinking count beast, and a very tanky one at that. Not only can she reload 5 times if necessary with the use of her skill tree, she also deals quite a bit of damage and unique debuffs. 2 tremor bursts, a gloom resist down, and a gloom fragility, making her skill tree do even more damage because that's our only gloom damage. So ideally, this joke's never gonna get old, is it? Ideally, we want to have several of these skills lined up to go. While we can only apply Gloom Resist down once, we can click Gloom Fragility multiple times. So if we hit the enemy with the skill first and then we hit it with it again, it's gonna do a lot more damage. Very good. Let's equip some passives on this gal now that we're done with her review. For Tremor, we have Holiday, that applies the Tremor Burst. We have Binds, which I'm pretty sure is Tremor Burst as well. And we have Tremor Fracture, which decreases the... This Tremor Fracture is just a Mega Tremor, so this is going to make the enemy super tremoring. The passive for this Ego is not really that good. And for our Theft, we're going to stick to our ever-reliable Sun Shower. Sun Shower giving us Poise. The Scissors here is also very interesting. It has attack weight, so it's a better option for our Zain. Very good. Now, we have our ID revealed. Let's build a team to help us out. So we are a Tremor Sinking Bullet team. And we have Pride, Sloth, and Gloom. Starting with Isang, this unit has no way to maintain her sanity. But for Tremor, let's see here. We do have Molar Office Fixer, which gives us Tremor Burst that inflicts defense level down. So we're gonna go with that. And we're gonna take something else for the sanity heal. For Faust, let's see. Sinking, Tremor, and Bullets. For Sinking Faust, we have Wuthering Heights Butler that gives us some sanity heal on hit, which could be our therapist here in the team. Alternatively, we could always take, you know, base Faust for the offense level down reduction, which would stack up with the offense level down from... No, this is defense level down, so it wouldn't stack up. My bad. Whoops. Right, Sinking Tremor. We do have T-Corp Dawn that provides us with taking less damage, but we are already taking a lot less damage by having protection, so I don't feel like we need this. We do have aggro, so we could take some healing from focus encounters with Lobotomy Eagle Lantern. Other option would be the Heisho Pack Way Branch because of the defense level down, and we do fit the characteristics for this activation here. We just don't have the Gluttony, but as long as the enemy has Sinking, it's more defense level down. Very nice. Lobotomy Eagle Faint Roman Solitude actually can work in our favor today, because on a Tree Slough Resonance, when we hit an enemy that inflicts Sinking Potency, we inflict Tremor and Tremor Burst. So by doing a 3 times Slough Resonance, we get a Tremor Burst, which will activate the ability from Molar Office Yiseng. Finally completed the last stage of Cantonite. Congratulations! In any case, this is going to be a very nice wombo combo here, because as soon as we do a Tree Slough Resonance, it doesn't have to be an absolute resonance either. Anytime we hit an enemy with a skill that applies Sinking Potency, we are going to inflict True Tremor and trigger Tremor Burst. Since LCA Outis is a Tremor unit with Sinking and Slough Resonance, this will make her incredibly powerful. It will activate the passive from Molar Office Fixer here, which is defense level down on a Tremor Burst. So, perfect fit for this. For Mersal, we're going to be taking the Thumb East Capel because we use ammo, and so we gain more damage by having ammo. Easy choice here. For Honglu, we are of course going to be taking the District 20 Euro Div, which is again 3 Slough Resonance to trigger another Tremor Burst, so we can maximize our Tremor Bursting to the max. For Heathcliff, we do have the Wild Hunt, which will allow us to deal more damage based on our SP difference, which is extra damage. Alternatively, in case of Tremor, which is something our team use, we do have this Clash Power +1, which I think is unnecessary. For Ishmael, if I recall correctly, does not possess very good Tremor support, but we do have the Edgar family Butler, I keep saying Butler, that gives us more damage against enemies with Sinking. For Rhodia, you know what it is, she is remaining as she is. Base Rhodia, because 20% damage is difficult to ignore. Alternatively, we could use T-Corp Class True Collection Staff for Clash Power on a Resonance. We could use the False Ring Fulbus Docent that has a weird-ass passive that would increase our ability to inflict Sinking Potency, but we don't have Lust Resonance, unfortunately. Rose Spanner Workshop Representative is also a good choice, because whenever we increase Tremor Burst, we're going to raise the stagger threshold by a lot. And I actually want to use this for once. We're raising the terror level in this dungeon today. We're going to enjoy it. Right. For our Molar Boy here, for our Sinclair, since we are using a Tremor team, we are going to use the support from Molar Boltworks Fixer. Finally, from Gregor might just take again his role as G-Corp Manager Corporal, because for Sinking or for Tremor we do not have good supports here. We only have the World Spanner Workshop Fixer, which gives us Rupture to targets that have Tremor. So since we don't inflict Rupture, we don't get any benefit out of that. For Sinking, there is no support here. There's only the Edgar family Heir, which guarantees us Gloom damage up. Now this Gloom damage up could actually help us with dealing more damage with our skill tree, which seems to be like the entire point of the ID, but it is 5 sanity we lose every time we start a round, and the only sanity healer we have is Wuthering Heights Butler, which gives us 3 SP on hit against enemies that have 5+ Sinking. If we had someone else to heal our sanity, this might be good. We could sacrifice the Edgar Family Butter 20% damage bonus max on enemy that has 20 sinking for Hanafuda Ishmael. That would give us some sanity heal on base attack skill that hits heads, which is 5 SP, 2 times returns, clean allies. We're gonna go for that actually. We can sacrifice a little bit of damage for that is 10% more damage at the cost of 5 sanity per turn. This is 20%. We're gonna go for high risk for high reward here. We're gonna gain our sanity back anyway as we fight, so high risk for high reward. All right, we got our team done. Let's review them really quickly. Molar Office Fixer Yisang gives us defense level down on a Tremor Burst. Wuthering Heights Butler Faust gives us sanity healing on enemies with 5+ sinking. Haitial Pack Way Branch Dawn provides us with defense level down on enemies with sinking. Lobotomy Eagle Faint Aroma and Solitude Ryoshu provides us with a free Tremor Burst whenever we use a skill that applies sinking, as long as we remember to use a Sloth Resonance. The Thumb East Capo for Merceau provides us with additional damage based on our speed difference as long as we use ammo. District 20 Yurdiv Honglu provides us with chance for double Tremor Burst as long as we do a Sloth Resonance. Wyodo Hunto Heathcliff provides us with extra damage based on the difference between our sanity of the enemy and our own, as long as they have sinking. But it only works on a Gloom Resonance, which is something we are looking for because we have our passive activated on a Gloom Resonance. The Edgar Family Butler Ishmael provides us with additional damage bonus against enemies that have sinking. Rose Spinner Workshop representative Rhodia is providing us with Empowered Tremor Burst, that's a 20% extra. Molar Boltwork Fixer Sinclair is giving us additional Tremor with the effect of our attack skills and coins, and Edgar Family Heir is giving us a 10% damage up on our skill tree, but every turn we lose 5 SP. We don't have any self-healing here, but this is an exceptionally tanky ID, so I don't think we're gonna need it. All right, with our team revealed, ID reviewed, team built, and Eagle selected, we are ready to deploy on this solo adventure. Unfortunately, we do not have an Outis announcer to go with us with our journey, so it is going to be Dante. Let's get down to it. Of course, we are going to be taking our two favorite blessings, which is Favorite Nebulae and Starlight Guidance for that additional protection, which is going to help us so very much. We are, again, a Tremor and a Sinking team. We are betting more on our Tremor than our Sinking, although we have support for both, but our Tremor has more chances of applying. So we are going to go with the Oscillating Bracelet. That is going to give us additional Tremor potency every time we hit an enemy with our skills. As our starter gifts, of course, we're going to be taking our ever-reliable Lithograph together with the Zippo Lighter, and since it is a solo run, we are going to be taking the ability to ignore a stagger with a manor-shaped music box. I like to take the Ashen Constellation, but I'd rather not be stunned. This is a unit that has a lot of damage reduction, so we don't really have to worry too much about how much damage we take, but rather if we can get staggered or not. So, with that selected, let's go! All right. This unit makes an excellent candidate to replacing our skills 1s with skills either 2 or 3, because we are looking for a maximum amount of Sloth and Gloom Resonance that we can. Right off the bat, we have Dregs of the Manor with a powerful bell here. We don't have Lust, so this is not as effective, but it's still 20% damage up. Phlebotomy Pack for healing. We have some Poise Application here, which is very nice. I would go Flatwork Gamblers for the damage up and the healing. Right, let's deploy her. Now that I moved my streams a little bit earlier, I will be able to edit some videos in the downtime that I'm not doing anything. So look forward to videos coming out on the channel more frequently. Right, here we go. Now, I must nerd out about this. I do not like how she uses the Kopesh. She's using it the wrong way. I know a little bit about swords. You strike with the Kopesh with the curved side, not with the sickle side. I'm gonna be annoying about that. Ow. By the way, since I want to stream more games other than Limbus, I tried to stream Gloomwood this weekend. I don't know if anyone saw it. It's a good game. It's a damn good game, and I want to play more of it. But the problem I'm having is that my computer is not very good. That's why I have, like, you know, my Patreon, my coffee, just trying to make some money to upgrade the beast here so that I can stream better games. But I will try to stream games that I can. I'm preparing a new overlay, because my overlay right now, I built all of this shit from scratch. I don't know how it works properly, and it's kind of in a factorial situation like I explained on my 100 subscriber video, where I don't know how it exactly works, but it's working. And once I got it figured out, I'm gonna make a new overlay, and I'm gonna use it exclusively for when I play first-person shooter games, which I like them quite a lot. So look forward to that. I'm gonna play more Gloomwood, and I want to finish I Divine Settlements still. Just need more time. As always, time is always an issue. Also, this dungeon might take a while, because 1, this is a tank unit. 2, she's solo. 3, all of her escalation comes from enemy having tremor or sinking. So unlike other units that have poison self or other such accoutrements that give them power up, this unit relies solely on applying her skill effects on the enemy and then powering up. So she starts off weak and then powers up. While other IDs keep up their power by just having shit on them. That's why I prefer poise for... what's it called? Power escalation. That's why I like the Bleeding Lineage so much. Oh yes, it's excellent for Soul Fish. She just shits out protection on herself, yep. And now that we have, since this unit has both Gloom, Sinking, and Sloth as her all her effects, it makes her very good for certain resonance effects that we got on the passives, like the double Tremor Stagger and some others. And the Gloom for her own passive also makes it really good to activate damage ups, which is very, very nice. Especially when you consider something like Wild Hunt's passive, which activates on the Gloom Resonance, and the fact that the Gloom comes from her skill tree. She is a beast, as expected from fucking the Udjat. They are all grade 1 fixers, did you know that? It's a shame they were made to job on purpose. We're sacrificing 5 sanity every turn to gain 10% more damage on our skill tree, but we don't always have a skill tree available. So how we're gonna fix that? We're gonna turn 2 of our skills 1s into skill 3 and 1 skill 1 into skill 2. Honestly, thinking of doing MD for 15 soul with newest Ryosho, I'm gonna do that, by the way. Mostly because the string after the Blade of the House of Spider Real is going to be the 6th, 7th string, and I'm not ready for that yet. I don't see a reason why not, because it's one of the most powerful IDs in the game. I'm gonna use it on a Mirror Dungeon Extreme. Do the whole gimmick of her. Anyway, like I was saying, yesterday we did the index, and the reason why the index right now is overpowered, something I want to talk about since we're reviewing a newer ID here with this ID that we're looking right now. The index is overpowered, yes, but not for the reasons you think. They don't roll that high, believe it or not. Ow, ow, They really don't roll that hard. Their skill 1 and 2 rolls your standard 11, 13, 15, 16, 19, 22. The thing is that they have so many effects that gives them damage up and offense level up that makes them clash really hard and hit like a truck. The problem here isn't that they are out-rolling bosses at the beginning of the game. The problem is that they are... what's it called? The bosses are not prepared to deal with that level of damage up these IDs are offering, you know? Alright, we built up our power and now we're gonna destroy. You guys were having fun, weren't you? Guys were having fun, and then I pull out the gat. But yeah, I'm missing Gregor's passive here. Like 10% more damage is nice, but that healing on hit on Clash Winning is really good. But yeah, I'm looking forward for the Blade of the House of Spiders tomorrow. Tomorrow, no, the day after tomorrow. It's gonna be very fun. Tomorrow, I think we're gonna have the entire Limbus company as a review, because it's been a hot minute since I revealed the base IDs and used them. And doing a base run with the base, like doing a mirror dungeon run with the base IDs is really fun. Really fun. Right, since we are at a distinct disadvantage here, we are gonna bind them. We're gonna Eagle Blast them before they can do anything. Here comes the Eagle Blast. Not enough to... oh, perfect for stagger. We got 1 or 2 attacks. Right, let's get down with it. Let's slime on down, brother. That gun has such a meaty sound effect too. Oh yeah. By the way, if you have any ideas you would like me to review, please leave some suggestions, because again, we're running out of them. We are pretty much out of them by the time I do House of Spiders. And if you have any games that you want me to play on stream, also do say it, because once we run out of IDs to review, it's gonna be kind of dull. I still want to do the book reading and do the daily mirror dungeon, but without new IDs, I'm not gonna be playing the IDs that I enjoy or anything that you guys recommend to me. Make it a challenge run or something. Still following the usual rules: 5 floors, if in 5 floors, or maybe more, because by that time we're gonna be pretty good. Right, kill them all. And we got our health back. Very nice. Again, lithographs turn out to be much better Eagle gift for healing than phlebotomy pack. Though phlebotomy is per hit, but once per combat. Lithograph just regenerates more as long as you get some staggers out. It activates more than once per turn. Very good. Right, what is coming out tomorrow is I don't think we're gonna get anything new in the update, are we? I don't think the update is gonna give us something new, only the ability to shard Ryoshu. I didn't check the May schedule update. Here we go, let me take a look at that. Oh, it's this guys. What are you guys weak to? Slash, huh? Well, we're gonna Eagle Blast you real quick to try and stagger a few of you. Right, it's tomorrow we have the closing of Railway 5. Speed, text revision for Hornet Work. Nothing really too good here. Improvements. Yeah, tomorrow's there's gonna be a maintenance update, so we don't have anything new to sink our teeth into. But on Thursday, we're gonna have Blade of the House of Spider Ryosha, which is going to be very, very fun. Ow. There goes my sanity. Oops, there goes gravity. Let's start recovering some health from staggers. Boink. Blasted into a shape. Keep using that ammo. We can add, again, this unit reflects the lore of the Udjat that we have 5 reload as long as we use our skill tree. So we can spam bullets as much as we want. We wish. Swipe. We don't have our sloth resonance here, so what can you do? Although, if we have a sloth resonance, if we get our hands onto the fox statuette, that is true plus skill power for us by just using sloth resonance, which we have to activate our passives. Ooh, very nice. Shaping up to be a great run. I like this idea more and more. There we go. We got a sloth resonance. It could go even higher if I had taken 2 levels of the Favor of the Nebulae. There we go. Sliced to bits, cut up into ribbons. Right, into the shop. We got in our hands a voodoo doll, and let's heal her up to full health. Yeah, she took quite a beating, but this would have killed a lesser character. Give me a refresh, although the voodoo doll calls to me, so I'm gonna take it. Refresh real quick. We have Pendant of Nostalgia, allowing us to gain poise. And we are going to enhance the Oscillating Bracelet. Once again, we are Tremor maxing here today, not sinking maxing. On to the boss fight. Right, off we go. We're gonna start with a Ego Blast as usual. No, what about this one? Yeah, I never seen this Ego being used, so we're gonna use it. Ego time. Oh, it heals us. That's nice. I got some staggers out of it. Good thing they don't apply bleed. We have a lot of coins, and I would hate if they applied bleed. Right, go through the hole through them. Yeah, buddy, you're not dodging a bullet. You're in. Where do you think you are? Ow, 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 ow. That's blunt damage. We're weak to blunt damage. Nice power down. My power is better. My gloom, my depressed skill is better than yours. The good thing about a multiple tremor bursts is that we probably can stagger a lot of enemies plus. I think Outis ID is the tankiest ID amongst all IDs of every sinner. Pretty much, because if you play Library of Ruina, the Udjat is a generic reception you can get, which just absolutely shits out damage reduction. They are some tanky motherfuckers. There's a little girl that always plays scissors, and there's the other two of them that one plays rock and one plays paper. The rock we have already is Dawn in that one Eagle where she throws rocks, and the other one that uses only paper, that's Yiseng, because he's made of paper. Very good. Effortless, no problem. Now that we got some Eagle gifts, she's starting to ramp up in her power levels. Very good. Let's move on to floor 2. Get me some starlight because I'm running out of the damn thing. We came here for the bloody gadget and for the phlebotomy attack, allowing us to gain 20% more damage and some healing on hit once per turn. On to floor 2. Let's see what we got here. Kaleidoscope would have been nice if I had more units, so can't use it. Tremor would be nice too. Voracious Hammer. I think Voracious Hammer is better, so we're gonna go over here. And we can get layered bandages if necessary. Of course, I prefer to get layered bandages from somewhere else, but we're gonna do it anyway. Burn. Free burn. I'll take the free burn. Go Outis. Remember, just because your team currently does not use a keyword, does not mean you have no use for the gifts you get around from other ailments. In the case of the burn that we just got, we can still use it. That's one of the secrets for good extreme mirror dungeon runs, aside from getting every eagle gift, you know. Right, let's see. You guys are weak to Envy and Pierce. Turns out I do have Envy on my inventory right now, which is the scissors, so we're gonna use it. In any case, the trick for a successful extreme mirror dungeon run is making use of all of the ailments under the rainbow. It says if you understand that some gifts activate their effect, even if you don't have units that apply the ailments, such as Fiery Down, which activates on a Lust Resonance, you can pair that up with a Bleed team that is usually high on Lust. Right, shoot that one down and let's slice this one to bits. Obliterated. And now we have enough slots to clash against everything. Here we go. Still gotta replace all my skills once with Choose and Trees, so we don't have Pride anymore. So that we always activate that extra Tremor Burst. In a single skill, we can technically trigger Tremor Burst 4 times. There we go. Obliterated. Easy peasy. Floor 2, it's easy peasy. Up to floor 5 is easy peasy if you know what you're doing. Right, 2 mystery packs in our way. Let's see what we got. You are a rabbit. Give me your rabbitness. Boink, boink. Thank you. And this guy. I'd rather not fight this guy solo, honestly, because he's very annoying. So I will point you in the... Tell you the truth, because you give me the barbed lasso. But we don't have anyone that can actually wing that. Ooh, this is gonna be rough. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Rhodia. You failed us. Right. Ooh, got a replacement here. Let's go for Sloth, which we get the more out of it. Mirror Tactile Synesthesia. Allies targets an enemy with an attack skill that inflicts tremor potency. Randomly apply one turn of tremor potency. There are no other allies. There we go. I'll take it. And let's see, anything I don't use out of this pack? No, everything is useful for us. Let's increase the power. Actually, we could sell ashes to get something that we actually use better. Yeah, let's do this. Let's take the layered bandages, which is will give us healing if we are bleeding. And with the rest of the money, let's enhance the pendant for more points. Because critical is nice on every team. Critical is very nice on every team. No matter if it's sinking, no matter if it's tremor, no matter if it's ruptures. Poise is always good. Always good. Teddy bear. Hello there. Right. You apply a lot of bleed potency, huh? But only one of your skills apply bleed count, so we're gonna clash against that one. Oh, damn it. Most of your attacks are blunt, aren't they? Oh no, it's mostly slash. We're good against slash. So no problem whatsoever. Get away from me, you little weirdo. My gloom skill is sadder than yours. Tremor time. We count. Go, here we go. We can do another one of these. Tremor burst. Compared to see these animations a lot, this is one of the things I dislike about solo runs, is the thing that we always see the same animations over and over, but it is to be expected. Oh, we're gonna fail this one, aren't we? Blunt nailed against the Outis skill. They have a bouncing bear plush, seem to have soothed their feeling. Outis gave the bear bear plush a hug. Lovely. Can you imagine Outis actually hugging a teddy bear? I mean, she would do it if the manager tells her to, but still, it's a interesting sight. Now, give me the health back. Now, 1 second here. I'm gonna have to go mute for a moment. Do not worry, I will be here. All right, let's see here. We have Carmilla on one side with the first aid kit, and in the middle we have a tier 4 gift. I think the choice here is pretty simple, huh? Peace and relationship will always trump over any other gift for the sheer amount of power up it gives us. Alright, let's get down to it. We're gonna have to fight it anyway, so give me some water. I'm thirsty. Drankman, please. Drankman, I'm thirsty. I'm actually kind of thirsty, and I have to go get some water in just a moment. But now we have a bow to fight, and we already started out with a gloom skill. So let's shoot that thing down. Oh, I should have blocked. His attacks are all blunt. That is a issue, and we are going to have to solve it. I hate this creature, by the way. I hear the noises it makes. The brazen bow in reality is already a horrid thing. This thing is doubly horrid. Will we have enough to block it? That is the question. We do. Good use of blocks there. This block is good because this block is exactly what blocks need. We gain more shield on you. That's what I've been saying every time we review the NID that has block. Block is just used, gets so little shield. Now that we have a good shield, we can block the enemy's attacks. God damn, is that so difficult, Kim Ji-hoon? Please. There we go, we got a stagger. There we go, that was easier. We didn't even get to see the second stage where he brings out the body out of the brazen bow to slap you, which is horrid again. If you do not know about the story of the brazen bow, now I won't know the name of the creator, but he made the brazen bow as a torture device and presented it to his king. I don't remember the name of the king now. And for his reward, he got cooked inside of his own torture device. That bow is the device. It's literally a bow made out of bronze, which you put someone inside of it, and then you seal the person inside and light it on fire. Because bronze is very good at conducting heat, the person is going to be evenly cooked all around. And the worst part of it all is that inside of the brazen bow there is a little horn that connected to the mouth of the bow, that it distorts the scream of the person that's inside to sound like a bow's bellowing. It is a horrid little device. Very nice. Nice little crusher. And because we got the rusty coin, we activated it twice. Now, if only we could get clean needle and tread. Alright, my sanity has been nuked. Time to recover it. I have to be real careful with my sanity from now on, because with the double coin nuking my sanity and the -5 sanity per turn just for 10% more damage from Gregor, well, we're gonna be constantly consuming that, which makes it a lot more challenging, honestly, a lot more fun. Right, how are we doing here? Hello, Roland. This time, it didn't catch us during reading time. It caught us on actual gameplay time. Welcome to the stream. We got our full sloth resonance here for a free tremor burst. So burst that tremor.
성공. 진짜. 격발. 재장전 중이다. 적개체 무력화. 확인 사살.
Another tremor coming right up. As long as we got freeze left, that the tremor burst on our first attack and bop it. That's the power of a grade 1 fixer. Very good. Not you, Rogue. You used to be a grade 1. Now you're not. Been kind of slow lately, hasn't it? With the announcement of the Blade of House of Spiders, there hasn't been any new announcements of nothing that's coming up. Kind of looking forward for the next Railway, because we already did a Reflect Trial, which was... I might want to try and do a shorter run at some point, not on stream, but definitely try to beat my record, because I didn't deserve to win that. Let's be entirely honest. For those of you that watched my Reflect Trial stream, I did not deserve to win that fight. We won because he had like an itsy bitsy of bleed on him, just enough to kill him. Alright, let's crush these bogues. The bug squeezer 5 billion. Ah, no stagger, but I will fix that. Do not you worry. Now you're staggered. Sanity, don't worry about it. Haha. Ah, my fat cat. You thought you could escape me? You thought you could escape me, you fat ass? You are so chubby. And I don't give you anything good to eat, so why the hell are you so chubby? Right. Bang! Oh, I love the multi-tremor burst. Why are you wet? Where have you been? Why are you wet? You beautiful little thing. Ow, ow, stop hitting me. How are we in health? Good. How are you in sanity? You know, we're hanging there. One thing I'm a very big fan of for passives is that I kind of dislike the plus damage passives because they're very dull. Even the ones with a lot of conditionals are still very dull. You know passives I like? I like the Yudin Honglu ability to do multiple tremor bursts. I like Lobotomy Eagle, Fainter Roman Solitude Ryoshu's passive, which is, you know, do the resonance, you get an extra tremor. I like passives that are, you know, actually things that you can do to improve the combat instead of like a flat damage up bonus. Because sure, seeing the big number is fun, but it's not that fun for me. I like to do things in a video game, you know? That's why I always prefer a conditional over a flat damage increase. Slice him up. I'm more curious about the fact that Outis here has a passive called the Staff of Horus Replica, and that Vespa has a relic called the Spear of, you know, the Gungnir, which is the Spear of Odin, and fucking, what's her name? Valentina has the Eye of Odin, the Eye of Truth. So, are the gods of the city real? Well, we know that Hermes exists. So where are they found in the outskirts? Are they powerful people that went to the outskirts? What are they? I'm very curious. Once we get to Outis Canto, that is going to be a fantastic lore chapter, honestly. Because recently it has been revealed that the stars, the Pinky, they're all star themed. The Pinky is based off the idea from a book called Water Margin. I'm not entirely sure of that one, but at least Leyhang comes from Water Margin, which is a story about 108 or 102, not entirely sure, bandits that rose to fight, I think, the Emperor of China or the Empire of China or something like that. Details are scarce, I only saw it in passing. And it seems that every single one of these unique bandits, which Leyhang is one of them, they all have like a title, and now they have a star named after them. Every single one of the swords is a star. And the name of a star has been mentioned several times in Limbus Company. Like, Demian talks a lot about star. Dante talks about following your own star. And the description of the blades of the Pinky says that they're stars that fell down or something like that, and then became swords or were forged into swords. So I'm very, very curious to see how that will go. Alright, we're gonna have receiving some attacks here. We can block, but yeah, let's go on the offensive. Alright, they're using true counters, so I ain't going to ignore you. Right, we have 3 slots now. Good enough. Can let one attack pass. Preferably the one with a single coin. Why am I so sleepy today? I slept enough. What the hell? Now, this is part of the reason why I wanted to start streams earlier, so that I can go to sleep earlier as well, so I don't sleep all afternoon. I know I work from home, but still I have a lot of things to do, and sleeping actually hurts my ability to do things, including editing videos for the channel, which is something I really dearly want to do, and I'm learning it. I'm working on a lot of things in the background. Yeah. But lately I've been so sleepy that something is wrong, despite guzzling down gallons upon gallons of coffee. Good enough, good enough. True counters can ignore you. That means both of your friends are going to die. Although I can kill you before you can counter me, so say goodbye, buddy. Maybe I can kill you too, because you're weak to gloom, and we have gloom. 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 There we go, we could kill it. Very nice, very cool. Let's... Oh, there's another wave. Well, ain't that peachy. That means you all get to die in this turn because I have the gloom damage and I have more slots. How the tables have turned, huh? Let me throw it over here. Let's go. Bang! Stagger. That's another stagger. Ah, just waste another turn, huh? Alright, kill him. Let's move on to the next arena. Give me harder battles. I eager for them. Ooh, sorry. Again, very sleepy and I do not know why. Let's go for the mystery pack. We're in a hurry here. Oh, god damn it. I'll pick at the book. Right, let's see. On the ID skill search, let's change Compass Shortplay to Mirage Incision. So we get ourselves a nice little 5 skills true, sorry. We are going to be taking Rags, which gives us more damage, I believe. Yes, we do more damage. Outis Nair gives us more damage as well. For our enhancements, we are going to enhance Voodoo Doll for that beautiful power through down, and Oscillating Bracelet for additional tremor potency, which is the entire point of that eagle. We're going to enhance Nixie Divergence to maximum potency so that we have lots of tremor on the very first round. Rags go up on level, and so does the Outis Nair. So we got ourselves some nice power-ups going on here. We're going to sell Pain of the Stifled Rage because we do not inflict burn, and so we cannot use that at all. And we don't refresh up that often, so this is worthless. We sell it. Coffee and Cranes is kind of nice, but also worthless because we have the Zippo lighter from the beginning, so that stays. We are going to continue enhancing our gifts by maxing out our Pendant of Nostalgia and our Outis Nair. And if you can, do the Rags as well, because that's extra damage. Alright, with that, all our money is spent. We didn't heal, but we don't need to. Up to floor 3 boss, and then up to floor 4. Again, this ID is very nice, and it compounds really well with some of the passives that I like and really wanted to use. The only issue I have with it is that, well, it does have a bullet gimmick, but you really don't have to counter bullets because of the, well, how do you say it? You can reload 5 times per turn. So it kind of takes away from the gimmick of bullets in this game being limited, because you have 16 bullets, you only consume it on your skill tree, so you reload every time you use your skill tree, so what's the point? It is a very nice ID though, very tanky, very cool, and with the ability to use some of my favorite passes to Tremor, it makes it for a fun combo time. Just that the matter of, you know, where's the gimmick, where's the fun? It is a good clash machine. It's a good tank too, but not doing much more than I already do with other IDs. But I guess the same can be said to a lot of IDs in the game as well, where you're not doing anything that different from what you already do with other IDs, which is clash, try to win, and inflict damage. But again, this is an effect of me playing this game every day for like 3 hours on stream. We kind of start seeing the same thing over and over and over again. Kind of see like it's kind of shades away from the novelty of the IDs and into the core of the gameplay, into the core of Limbus Company combat system, which is fantastic. I would take this combat system over any other turn-based RPG in a blink of an eye. Sure, everything is hinging on the clash system, you winning the clash, but you can always do one-sided attacks to feel like a normal turn-based RPG, where you just sit there, get hit, and the enemy also sits there and just get hit. I love the clash system because it allows me to feel like I'm truly fighting it. There's just some issues with the balancing act between attacks, evades, and blocks. For example, like I said multiple times, blocks aren't nearly as powerful enough. If they were all clashable blocks, then hell yeah, but that is not the case. Right? Ooh, a special contract. Whenever we tremor burst, someone dies. Alright. I'm not going for the evil defining, even though Glupo's Eye is here, because that would be fighting Pequot Trio solo, and they are very dangerous because they have a lot of bleeding friction. Bleeding friction. Let's go for Thunder and Lightning. That is our beloved UPS system. Hell yeah.
강습 준비 완료.
I tried playing some other turn-based RPGs I have here, like Pathfinder Kingmaker and all of that, and it doesn't hit the same. The clash system is so good. And the funny thing is that before Library of Ruin, there was already a game with a similar clash system, but more about the field, you know? Because one of the issues I have with turn-based games, especially RPGs, is that the same problem that the director had, and he mentioned in an interview about how he came up with the clash system, is that the characters just stand there and get hit. They don't react to the attacks, you know? And one of the games I played, which was a Star Wars game, I think was Knights of the Old Republic, yeah. It was still a turn-based game where the characters just kind of take the damage and they just kind of stand there until it's their turn, but they did something that made it feel like a fight. It made it feel really fun, is that whenever the characters are waiting their turn, if you're fighting with a sword, they are constantly like bashing their swords together, dueling. Neither of them are gonna hit like critical hit during this, but when it's their turn, the animation changes, and if you hit the enemy or not, it plays a different animation of you winning against them in that sword duel and landing a hit. But then it goes back to, you know, cycling through those animations. That was genius. That made the game feel like an actual fight. It was fantastic. And I couldn't get I couldn't get that out of my head ever because it was so good. And then I met, you know, Library of Ruin, and then I fell in love. Clash system is fucking phenomenal. It just needs a little itsy bitsy bit of balancing, especially if, since we're using here on, you know, Limbus and Ruina, you can kind of balance it yourself, but because some options are clearly better than others, you know? For example, why would I ever use a block if I can use a, say, an attack? Oh, I'm gonna have to, speaking of, because the block is not powerful enough to, you know, consider ignoring a attack on the enemy. Sure, it will reduce the damage, but because it's so weak, the first enemy is going to eat my shield and then deal damage, and the subsequent enemies are going to deal a shit ton of damage. And not to mention, the fact that they are hitting me will cause me to receive status ailments even through my shield. Now, I do believe that the non-disclosure agreement that the tier 4 gift that got buffed recently protects you against status effects while you have a shield, and that is fan-fucking-tastic. I wish they would do that for every ID. But alas, it is not the case, so we do what we can with what we have. They're getting me out of Tailstown, goddamn! You have been tremor bursted, my friend. And I get countered. I get hammered. More hammering. Ow. Doesn't hurt. We are about to explode. So might as well go out with the bang. I'm gonna blow up. Ah, because I'm bound, I'm gonna receive all the attacks first. about to blow! Saturday completed Canto 9 after interval event ended. Ah, what a shame. Oh, I'm about to blow up again. There's still a super interval. Yeah, it's still running so you can get some extra materials, my friend. I'm hitting zeros. Oh, I'm about to blow up.
어디에 도전하는가?
I love the Sword of Damocles imagery in the King of Binds. It's so funny. I assume everyone here is familiar with the story of the Sword of Damocles. If you're not, allow me to weave you a tale about the Sword of Damocles. Now, I'm not a professional storyteller, nor do I know the story into deep details. But Sword of Damocles. Long ago, in the distant lands of, I think, Greece, there was a king. His name was Damocles. And he lived a very luxurious life because he was king. One of his, court nobles went and said to him, man, oh man, aren't you lucky? You get all these fine ass bitches for yourself. You got a lot of money. You got a lot of food. Must be nice being king, isn't it? And the king goes, oh yeah, you think it's nice being a king? All right, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna take my place, buddy. You're gonna sit here and you're gonna be king. You're gonna get to enjoy every luxury that you say that I enjoy. Oh, before I continue the story, gambling time. I'm not a big gambler. The wise do not gamble, but here's free. 50 coin. Anyway, so buddy, come on here, sit down, and you are gonna be king for as long as you want, honestly. So the king changed places with this guy, but before he did so, he grabbed a sword and hung it above the throne through a horsehair, a very thin horsehair holding up the sword that is going to, the moment that hair broke, it would fall down and kill whoever was under it. Now, very funny king, ha ha ha. The guy sat down on the throne, became king, and he couldn't enjoy nothing because he was constantly anxious about the sword's gonna fall down, oh fuck, I'm going to die. So no matter how many women, no matter food or whatever luxuries the king had, he couldn't get his mind out of the sword that is hanging above his head. And that's the tale of the Sword of Damocles. Eventually he gave up, got out, and it's an analogy for like, oh, you think the people in power have it good, huh? Well, maybe the story falls flat in the modern days, but people that are in command of things, actual dangerous things, have a shit ton of responsibilities, and it's not all flowers and sunshines for them, no. Sure, they probably live a better life because they're rich and they're in charge, but at least those that are in charge of something dangerous, something like a kingdom, have responsibilities. These responsibilities always hanging on their head, about to fall. And they don't really get to enjoy their position all that much. Of course, nowadays we have people that are rich for no reason, and they rub it in your face all the time. That, oh, look at us, we're so rich. So that analogy falls a little flat here. Analogy, the metaphor, not analogy, sorry. So yeah, Sword of Damocles. This is the symbols we get on Outis here when she uses binds. It's literally someone in a throne with a sword hanging on top of their head that it literally falls down. Fool's Love Resonance. Creatures eliminated with slough. We hit them with the yellow. And again, we have to consider that all of the egos that we get for sinners are, at least in some capacity, foreshadowing. It was the same for Ryoshu. It was the same for Outis. It will be the same for every other ego that we get. There are foreshadowing. The red spider, the red eyes ego for Ryoshu, both the eyes open and the eyes closed, you know, the normal one, they were foreshadowing. The Sword of Damocles binds is foreshadowing for Outis, which, by the way, if we manage to complete Crime and Punishment on stream, will be the next book, probably, most likely. The Odyssey, I don't believe it's that super long. Do it again. Sanity is overrated, and I am fighting with the numbers as a advantage. Beautiful. Right, only one guy alive. Let's fight. Fool's Love Resonance, here we go. That is a free tremor burst on the first attack. Remember, our tremor bursts are enhanced both because of Rose Spinner Workshop Robia and because of Tremor Fracture from Binds, which is essentially a super tremor. So you are getting staggered, buddy. There's nothing that's gonna save you. We got another Fool's Loft Resonance here. Hell yeah. Did you just teleport to the middle of the screen? What the fuck? Bang, bang. Here we go. Another Sloth Resonance. I love seeing that yellow. It's gold dust in the air, breathing deep and become rich, my friend. Alright, Full Sloth Resonance, keep it flowing. The sands of time do not stop. But I wouldn't worry about it if I were you, because if you do, it's gonna go flow even faster. And time doesn't work, really. One of the games I kind of want to replay at some point is Cultist Simulator. That shit was so fun, but I don't think it's a good stream material. Unless I pause and read everything, which is, you know, interesting. I'm already doing book reading here, might as well throw some occultism into it. Kopesh Swordplay. Shoot someone in the back of the head, Swordplay. Also, good news. I mentioned this before, but the tabletop is going nicely. We didn't stream it this weekend because, again, GM was drunk. And hangover. If it was drunk, it would have made for a very memorable session, but still. We successfully adapted the Mage the Awakening, not the Reckoning, that's Werewolf, into the, like, a Project Moon setting, and it's working so beautifully well, man. So beautifully well. And I can't wait to play more of it. Alright, we're enhancing our skill tree even further. Very nice. Let's enhance some gifts. Hell yeah. We got UPS System. We got Curriculum Vitae. This fixer is ready for job searching. We got ourselves some Torn Bandolier that deals more clash power and damage with our skill tree. Hell yeah. we got material interference shield, and we got piece of relationship to gain levels beyond our wildest dreams. And rebate token comes in and makes that upgrade free. Ah, how I love rebate token. Onto the boss fight. Hell yeah.
강습 준비 완료.
Funny thing is, now, nothing to do with what I was just said right now, but something I've been doing. Now, twice now, from things I consume on the internet and watch, I have been exposed to the insane clown boss and jugalos. And I wondered, what the fuck are these things? And so I looked it up, found myself a documentary on them, and I have been watching it, and it's some fantastic stuff. It's not my kind of music, but it is some really cool stuff they got going there. If you don't know Sin Clown Paws, I don't blame you. They're not exactly super popular as far as I'm aware. I'm not American, so I never heard their songs before. But it's still, twice I've been exposed to them, and twice I did not know anything about them. Now I do know a little bit more. They have a card game. I wasn't aware they had a card game. I wasn't aware they were rappers. Wasn't aware of anything about them, but I learned, and I'm kind of digging it. It's some cool stuff, and I'm most likely going to adapt the entire idea of the Insane Clown Boss into the tabletop as a faction, because that is going to be fun. I just need to finish the documentary on it. Same with the documentary that I'm watching about Macho Man Randy Savage, which again, not American. I have not been raised with wrestling. I don't think wrestling ever made it big here in Brazil. So I might be wrong in that regard, because I don't watch TV that often. And when I was a wee child, I spent most of my time in front of a computer rather than, watching TV. The only things I watched on TV were Dragon Ball, Beyblade, Yu-Gi-Oh! And that was before going to school. And then I would buy fake Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards and scam people in school to get the cards I didn't own yet, because they all wanted the cards from the game, the overpowered ones. In any case, I need to finish the Macho Man Randy Savage documentary, which is, he's a wonderful guy. I love him. It's cool. His character is cool. I just need to finish it as well, because I made a character on the tabletop that is basically Macho Man Randy Savage, and he uses the big sledgehammer, and he literally names himself the Sled. There's so many things I haven't had the time to, because I'm trying to study, I'm trying to work, and I'm trying to get my life back in order, functioning order. Because again, last month now, no longer just the last 2 weeks, last 3 weeks, last month has been really fucking weird. Because I'm sleeping all the time and I don't know why, even though I'm getting proper sleep. I know I'd be sleeping as early as I wanted to for my job, but I do get plenty of good sleep. I don't like wake up in the middle of the night or anything. It's just, yeah, a bit of a weird situation. Regardless, several things require my time. I want to do more videos, mentioned that several times on my 100 subscriber video as well, and I'm gonna keep repeating it because I'm annoying like that. But do look forward for the videos that are coming, and hopefully it will help the channel grow. I want to get that clip of Heathcliff getting staggered for 5 turns, turn it into a little video as well. Or make like Limbus moments and grab some funny things that happen on my stream. Very good, Outis. Again, this idea is very nice. She's very capable, but she falls, in my opinion, on the same category as Uffie Heathcliff, where she is very powerful, very able, but kind of boring. There is no gimmick to play around here, and sure, not every single thing we fight needs a gimmick, but she has no gimmick to play around. Just hit enemy harder, hit enemy even harder. Know what I mean? It's not very fun, honestly. Right, moving on. Evil. Christmas goblins require food. Go, my dawn, and get devoured. Consumed by the packaging machine. And who's gonna look under the bed if not our Outis? Stupid lantern. Stupid lantern acquired. Right, let's see what we got here. We got punctured memory. We got replacement for our skill 1 to skill 3. Very good, very cool, very nice. We got ourselves a puncture memory that we can use. Although, it's only going to reinforce a skill tree, so not really that good. Tremor. We got Set Plushie. I'll take Set Plushie. Set Plushie. Wobbling Keg. Clash Power. And... no. Reverberation. Bind and Paralysis. Always nice. Give me a refresh. Bartender. Ah, nothing really good here. Let's give it a Tremor Fusion a go. We need the packaging box, and this is the haste one, right? Nah, kind of worthless too. Not gonna buy anything else, so turn that thing into that thing. Bell of Truth, hell yeah, extra damage. All right, off we go. Into the evil Christmas Goblin's lair. Outis has come here to pick up the gifts herself. Now, first objective, just survive. They deal blunt damage and we are weak to it. We're gonna kill the big one right away. Ah, didn't kill it, but whatever.
전술 시야 전개. 우제트의 눈으로.
Choo, choo, choo. We're gonna avoid getting hit by blunt attacks, so let's flash against those. And the guy with true attacks, we can stagger him and cancel another action. Because remember, whenever you're playing one of these games, no matter if it has the amazingly awesome flash system, you're still working with the action economy. For in this case here, we opted to attack and destroy that gnome because he had two attack slots, and if you manage to stagger him before he could pull off his other attack, that is one action the enemy that we have denied. And as for, you know, priority on who are we gonna clash, we're gonna clash for whoever has a blunt attack that we are weak to. So this guy has a blunt, this guy has a blunt, and this guy has a blunt. Not the fun kind. So we clash against them, we take a slash hit, which we can take. Since there is one enemy stagger, it is one action they don't have, so we can safely ignore him. Sure, it's an opportunity to deal damage, stagger, but I'd rather take care of the active combatants rather than focus on one guy that cannot do anything. It's a missed opportunity, but it's a tactical one that we take. Until we get the slots to properly clash against everyone, that's how we operate. And now we have... Right, let's obliterate these gnomes. Alright, and now we have full slots. The reckoning has come for for gnome kind. Prepare to be eliminated. Blasted! The first time we use reload, I think. Judgment! This is because we only have skill trues and skill trees now. We're always going to get a resonance of some kind to empower our team, which is the entire objective of replacing our skills. Reckoning, Doom, and Destruction. Go Outis with a full Sloth and Gloom resonance for both passives. Another thing that I've been thinking about the relic, it says the Staff of Horrors replica. This is something I really enjoy in some settings when you have a legendary relic that is so absolutely powerful, and a faction of any kind has access to it, and they start making replicas of that so that they can use it effectively. Like, say I have like the supreme sword of fire, like Leviathan from Matthias. I take it, my faction, I examine it, I see how technology works, I make lesser replicas and build it for every one of my characters, every one of my factions. So it creates a distinct identity for them because they're all using a replica of this legendary sword, so they're all going to be, you know, synergizing with each other. I love this kind of idea that you can make like an inferior replica of a super powerful relic. While it's not as good as the, you know, the original, it still makes it for a very good, very nice. How could you say world building? Maybe I think it's world building. The day of reckoning has come for you gnomes. Fresh bodies for the pile. If anything survives, mop it up. Now we're getting out full use of that 10% extra damage from Gloom by losing 5 sanity every turn. The Vanguard will see to it. Yes, yes, use plenty of bullets. This is so cool. I love watching these fights, man. Alright, how many bullets we have? I don't know how many times I have used reload already, but keep it flowing. Limbus Company is well funded by Diaz, and well, money is no object for us. Haha. Ah, I hear a reload just happened. Oh, bleak, they're fucking rated. Ah, just the two of you left, huh? Let's save our bullets for Santa. The big guy deserves a treat after doing all this hard work for us. Here he is, there he is. Let's pump him full of bullets. Until he's jangling with all that brass inside of his big fat gut. Strike away, Outis. Ooh. Reload it. Almost dead. Very nice. Again, mirror dungeons on the hard mode difficulty are not really that hard. The things only scale up on extreme, which we are unfortunately not going today. We're still following our rules here, maybe in the future, because again, we ran out of IDs to analyze. Tomorrow we're going to be doing all the base Limbus Company as IDs, and then we're going to be doing Blade of the House of Spiders, and until a new ID comes out, it's going to be slop. It's going to be probably dungeons up to 410, with whatever teams I want to use, I don't know. We're going to get to see it soon-ish. In any case, that is it. Don't mind that Dawn is dead, but she did an incredibly good job. Incredibly good ID, but a bit on the boring side. Lots of protection, lots of damage reduction, lots of sinking, lots of tremor. Ability to use bullets and empower her skill tree a lot by the Gloom Resonance. And has an incredible synergy with backup units like Ryoshu and Eurodiv Honglu here for Super Tremor. This is a easy recommend for me for an ID. However, I recommend it for its effectiveness, but I don't recommend it for its fun factor. It's certainly quite powerful, but also rather dull. That is it. It's a solid 8 out of 10 ID. Highly recommend it, but that's not too crazy about it. Nothing to go crazy about it. Maybe if you had other Udjats that would do other gimmicks, but Outis has always been this kind of like very reliable, but not super duper extra mega powerful. Any case, we have finished our ID study and we have finished our mirror dungeon, so you know what it is now. We are going to do our nerd shit. We are going to read Crime and Punishment. So, if you're here just for the gameplay, it is time to go, my friend. I will hit you with the usual message that if you liked the stream, please recommend it to your friends. But if you didn't, recommend it to your enemies. Now, it is nerd time. Now it's book time. And we are gonna get started right away. Right away after I get myself some water to drink because I'm quite thirsty. I am a thirsty little boy. Now, I'll be right back. Stick with me and we shall read some Crime and Punishment. And I am back. Just a quick little sip of water. Now, let's resume Crime and Punishment. Last time, Raskolnikov, after giving the money to Marmeladov's daughter and cursing himself for being stupid, he was at home, hungry, and we got a nice description of the little box apartment that he lives in, that most of the space is occupied by a sofa that he sleeps in, and that he doesn't pay rent for it, and the landlady is threatening to go to the police for it. And servant lady came up with some soup for him and gave him a letter. The letter was from his mother explaining the situation that she and her sister found herself in, and that her sister is to be married. After a scandal with the place she worked with, where the owner of the house was madly in love with her and the wife misunderstood it as the sister of Rodion, kind of seducing the husband, but then it was saw that it was all a misunderstanding after a letter, which was probably forged, and then they arranged a marriage with the brother of the wife. It's a things happen. Anyway, received the letter. Raskolnikov just finished reading it. I finished reading it, and now we're gonna see how Rodion Raskolnikov is going to react to this letter received from his mother. Rodion, this Rodion, the one right here on the screen. Now, you can see why some people say that Rodion's Kanto was the worst, not only because it didn't resolve anything, but because the source of the entire character of Rodion is a very rich story that we barely touched in her Kanto. That's why she's probably gonna get a much bigger Kanto in the future, maybe, I hope so. Anyway, here we go. Almost from the first, while he read the letter, Raskolnikov's face was wet with tears. But when he finished it, his face was pale and distorted, and a bitter, wrathful, and malignant smile was on his lips. He laid his head down on his threadbare, dirty pillow and pondered a long time. His heart was beating violently, and his thoughts were in a turmoil. At last, he felt cramped and stifled in the little yellow room that was like a cupboard or a box. His eyes and his mind craved for space. He took up his hat and went out, this time without dread of meeting anyone. He had forgotten all about that. He turned in the direction of the Dostoyevsky Island, walking along V Prospect, as though hastening on some business. But he walked, as his habit was, without noticing his way, whispering and even speaking aloud to himself, to the astonishment of the passers-by. Many of them took him to be a drunk. Chapter 4. His mother letter had been a torture to him, but as regards the chief, the fundamental fact in it, he had felt not one moment's hesitation, even while he was reading the letter. The essential question was settled, and irrevocably settled, in his mind. Never such a marriage while I am alive, and Mr. Losings be damned. The thing is perfectly clear, he muttered to himself with a malignant smile, anticipating the triumph of his decision. No, mother, no, Dunya, you won't deceive me. And then they apologize for not asking my advice and for making the decision without me? I dare say. They imagine it as arranged now and can't be broken off. But we'll see. We will see whether it can or not. Magnificent excuse. Peter Petrovich is such a busy man that even his wedding had to be rushed, almost express. No, Dunechka, I see it all, and I know what that much is that you want to say to me. And I know too that you were thinking about it when you walked up and down all night, and what your prayers were like before the Holy Mother of Kazan, who stands in Mother's bedroom. Bitter is the ascent to Golgotha. So, it is finally settled. You have determined to marry a rational businessman, Avdotya Romanovna, one who has a fortune, has already made his fortune, that is so much more solid and impressive. A man who holds true government posts and who shares the idea of our most rising generation, as Mother writes, and who seems to be kind, as Dunechka herself observes. That seems beats everything. And that very Dunechka is marrying that very Sins. Ah, splendid, is splendid. But I wonder why Mother has written to me about our most rising generation. Simply as a descriptive touch, or with the idea of predisposing me in favor of Mr. Losing? Oh, the cunning of that. I wonder about another item. How far were they open with one another that day and night all this time since? Was it all put into words, or did both understand that they had the same thing at heart and in their minds, so that there was no need to speak of it aloud? Better not to speak of it. Most likely it was partly like that. From Mother's letter, it's evident. He struck her as rude, just a little, and Mother in her simplicity took her observations to Dunya. And she was sure to be vexed and answered her angrily. I should think so. Who would not be furious when it was quite clear without any naive questions, and when it was understood that it was useless to discuss it? Why does she write to me, love Dunya, Rodia, and she loves you more than herself? Has she a secret conscience prick at sacrificing her daughter to her son? You are on comfort, you are everything to us, oh Mother! His bitterness grew more and more intense, and if he had happened to meet Mr. Losing at the moment, he might have murdered him. Yes, that is true. He continued, pursuing the whirling ideas that chased each other in his brain. It's true that to get to know a man, one must approach gradually and carefully. But there is no mistake about Mr. Losing. The chief thing is that he is a man of business and seems kind. That was something, wasn't it? To send the bags and big box for them at his own expense. A kind man, no doubt after that, but his bride and her mother are to ride in a peasant's cart covered with matting. I know, I have been driven in it. No matter. It is only 19 versts, and then they can travel very comfortably third class for 1,000 versts. Quite sensible too. One must cut one's coat according to one's cloth. But what about you, Mr. Losing? She is your bride, and you couldn't fail to be aware that her mother has to borrow money on her pension for the journey? To be sure, it's a matter of transacting business together. Partnership for mutual benefit with equal shares and, therefore, expenses, food and drink in common. But pay for your tobacco, as the proverb goes. Now here too, the businessmen have got the better of them. The luggage will cost less than their fares and very likely go for nothing. How is it that they don't see it all that? Or is it that they don't want to see? And they are pleased, and to think that this is only the first blossoming, and that the real fruits are to come. What really matters is not the stinginess, not the tight-fistedness, but the tone of the whole thing. For that will be the tone after marriage. It's a foretaste of it. And mother too. Why is she spending recklessly? What will she have by the time she gets to Petersburg? 3 silver rubles or 2 paper ones, as she says? That old woman. What does she expect to live on Petersburg afterwards? She has her reasons already for guessing that she could not live with Dunya after the marriage, even at first. The good man has no doubt let his lip on the subject also, made himself clear, though mother is waving the notion aside with both hands. I will refuse, says she. What is she hoping for then? Is she counting on what is left of her 120 rubles of the pension when Afanasy Ivanovich stabbed his spade? She knits woolen shawls and embroidered cuffs, ruining her old eyes, and all her shawls don't out more than 20 rubles a year to her 120. I know that. So she is building all her hopes on Mr. Lucy's generosity. He will offer it himself. He will press it on me. You have a long wait. That's how it always is with these chivalesque noble hearts. To the last moment, every goose is a swan with them. To the last moment, they hope for good and not ill. And although they have an inkling of the other side of the picture, yet they won't face the truth until they're forced to. The very thought of it makes them shiver. They trust their truth away with both hands until the man they deck out in false colors puts on a fool's cap on them with his own hands. I wonder whether Mr. Losing has any orders of merit. Bet he has the Anna in his buttonhole, and that he puts it on when he goes to dine with contractors or merchants. He'll put it on for his wedding too. Enough of him, devil take him. Well, mother, I don't wonder at. It's like her. God bless her. But how could you, Dunya? Dunechka, darling, as though I did not know you. You were nearly 20 when I saw you last. I understood you then. Mother's right that Dunya can put up with a great deal. I know that very well. I know that 2 years and a half ago, and for the last 2.5 years, I have been thinking about it. Thinking of just that Dunya can put up with a great deal. If she could put up with Mr. Svidrigailov and all the rest of it, she certainly can put up with a great deal. And now, mother and she had taken it into their heads that she can put up with Mr. Losing, who propounds the theory of the superiority of wives raised from destitution and owing everything to their husband's bounty, who propounds it too, almost at first interview. Granted that he let it slip. Though he is a rational man, so maybe it was not a slip at all, but he meant to make himself clear as soon as possible. But Dunya? Dunya! She understands the man, of course, but she will have to live with the man. Why? She'd live on black bread and water. She would not sell her soul. She would not barter her moral freedom for comfort. She would not barter it for all the Schleswig-Holstein, much less Mr. Lucin's money. No, Dunya was not that sort when I knew her. And she is still the same, of course. Yes, there is no denying it. The Svidrigailovs are a bitter pill. It's hard to spend one's life as a governess in the provinces for 200 rubles, but I know she would rather be a slave on a plantation or a Latvian with a German master than degrade her soul and her moral feeling by binding herself forever to a man who she does not respect and with whom she had nothing in common, for her own advantage. And if Mr. Losing had been made of pure gold or one huge diamond, she would never have considered to become his legal concubine. Why is she consenting then? What is this? What's the answer? It's clear enough. For herself, for her comfort. To save her life, she would not sell herself, but for someone else's she's doing it. For the one she loves, for the one she adores, she will sell herself. That's what it all amounts to. For her brother, for her mother, she will sell herself. She will sell everything. Such cases, we squash our moral feeling if necessary. Freedom, peace, conscience even. Oh, all are brought into the street marker. Goodbye, life. If only these, our dear ones, may be happy. More than that, we become casuists. We learn to be Jesuitical, and for a time being, maybe we can soothe ourselves. We can persuade others that it really is one's duty for a good cause. That's just like us. It's as clear as daylight. It's clear that Rodion Romanovich Raskolnikov is the central figure in the business and no one else. Oh yes, she can ensure his happiness, keep him in the university, make him a partner in the office, make his whole life future secure. Perhaps he may even be a rich man later on, esteemed, respected, and maybe even end his life as a famous man. But mother? Oh, but it's all Rhodia, dearest Rhodia, her firstborn. for such a son who would not sacrifice even such a daughter. Oh, loving overpartial hearts, why for his sake we would not shrink even from Sonia's fate. Sonechka, Sonechka Marmeladov, the eternal Sonechka. So long as the world lasts, have you taken the measure of your sacrifice? Both of you, have you? Is it right? Can you bear it? Is it any use? Is there any sense in it? And let me tell you, Dunechka, Sonechka's life is no worse than life with Mr. Losing. There can be no question of love, mother writes. And what if there can be no respect either? If on the contrary, there is an aversion, contempt, repulsion, what then? That you will have to keep up your appearance too. Is that not so? Do you understand? Do you what that cleanliness means? Do you understand that illusion cleanliness is just the same thing as Sonechka and maybe worse, viler, baser? Because in your case, Donechka, it's a bargain for luxuries. After all, it is a simple question of starvation. It has to be paid for. It has to be paid for, Donechka, this cleanliness. And what if it's more than you can bear afterwards, if you regret it? The grief, the misery, the curses, the tears hidden from all the world, for you are not a Marfa Petrovna. And how will your mother feel then? Even now she is uneasy, she is worried, but then, when she sees it all clearly, and I, yes, indeed, what have you taken me for? I won't have your sacrifice, Donechka. I won't have it, mother. It will not be. So long as I am alive, it will not. It will not. I won't accept it. He suddenly recollected himself and paused. It shall not be. But what are you going to do to prevent it? You forbid it? And what right have you? What can you promise then on your side to give you such a right? Your whole life, your whole future you will devote to then when you have finished your studies and obtained the post. Yes, we have heard all that before, and that's all your words. But now, something must be done. Now, do you understand that? And what are you doing now? You're robbing them. They borrow money on their 100 rubles pledge. They borrowed from the Svidrigailovs. How are you going to save them from the Svidrigailovs, from Afanasy Ivanovich Vakrushtin, or the future millionaire, oh Zeus would arrange their lives for them? In another 10 years, mother would be blind with knitting shawls, maybe with weeping too. She would be worn to a shadow with fasting. And my sister? Imagine for a moment what may become of your sister in 10 years. What may happen to her during those 10 years? Have you guessed? And so he tortured himself, taunting himself with such questions and finding a kind of enjoyment in it. And yet, all these questions were not new ones, suddenly confronting him. They were old familiar aches. It was long since they had first begun to grip and rend his heart. Long, long ago, his present anguish had its first beginnings. It had waxed and gathered strength. It had matured and concentrated until it had taken the form of a horrible, wild, and fantastic question, which tortured his heart and mind, clamoring insistently for an answer. Now, his mother's letters had burst on him like a thunderclap. It was clear that he must not now languish and suffer passively, in thought alone, over questions that appeared insoluble, but that he must do something. Do it at once, and do it quickly. He must decide on something no matter what, anything at all, or a nice life altogether, he cried suddenly in a frenzy. Accept one's lot humbly, and, as it is, once for all, and stifle everything in oneself, giving up every right to act, live, and love. Do you understand, dear sire? Do you understand what it means when there is absolutely nowhere to go? Marmeladov's question of the previous day came suddenly into his mind. For every man must have somewhere to go. He gave a sudden start. Another thought that he had also had yesterday flashed through his mind, but he did not start at that thought recurring to him, for he knew he had felt beforehand that it must flash. He was expecting it. Besides, it was not only yesterday's thought. The difference was that a month ago, yesterday even, the thought was a mere dream, but now it appeared not a dream at all. It had taken a new, menacing, and completely unfamiliar shape, and he suddenly became aware of this himself. He felt a hammering in his head, and eyes were darkened. He looked around hurriedly. He was searching for something. He wanted to sit down, and was looking for a bench. He was walking along K Boulevard. There was a bench about 100 paces in front of him. He walked towards it as fast as he could, but on the way, he met with a little adventure which for several minutes absorbed all of his attention. Looking for the seat, he had noticed a woman walking some 20 paces in front of him, but at first he took no more notice of her than of the other objects across his path. It had happened to him many times already. On the way home, for example, had not to notice the road by which he was going, and he was accustomed to walk like that. But there was something so strange about the woman in front of him, so striking even at first sight, that gradually his attention was riveted on her. At first reluctantly and, as it were, resentfully, and then more and more intently, he felt a sudden desire to find out what it was that was so strange about the woman. In the first place, she appeared to be quite young, and she was walking in the great heat bareheaded, with no parasol or gloves, waving her arms about in an absurd way. She had on a dress of some light silky material, but also put on a strangely awry, scarcely fastened and torn open at the top of the skirt, close to the waist at the back. A great piece was coming apart and hanging loose. A little kerchief was flung about her bare throat, but lay slanting on one side. On top of everything, the girl was walking unsteadily, stumbling, and even staggering from side to side. The encounter drew Raskolnikov's whole attention at last. He overtook the girl at the bench, but on reaching it, she dropped down on it. In the corner, she let her head sink on the back of the bench and closed her eyes, apparently in extreme exhaustion. Looking at her closely, he realized at once that she was completely drunk. It was a strange and shocking sight. He could hardly believe that he was not mistaken. He saw before him the face of an extremely young, fair-haired girl, 16, even perhaps only 15 years old. Pretty little face, but flushed, and, as it were, swollen. The girl seemed to hardly know what she was doing. She crossed one leg over the other, lifting it indecorously, and showed every sign of being unconscious that she was in the street. Raskolnikov did not sit down, but he felt unwilling to leave her, and stood facing her in perplexity. This boulevard is never much frequented, and now, at 2 o'clock in the stifling heat, it was quite deserted. And yet, on the further side of the boulevard, about 15 paces away, a gentleman was standing on the edge of the pavement. He too would apparently have liked very much to approach the girl with some purpose of his own. He too had probably seen her in the distance and had followed her, but found Raskolnikov in his way. He looked angrily at him, though he tried to escape his notice, and stood impatiently, biding his time until the unwelcome ragamuffin should have moved away. His intentions were unmistakable. The gentleman was a fat, thickly set man, about 30, full-blooded, with red lips and a little mustache, and very poppishly dressed. Raskolnikov felt furious. He had a sudden longing to insult this fat dandy in some way. He left the girl for a moment and walked towards the gentleman. "Hey, you, Svidrigailov, what do you want here?" he shouted, clenching his fists and laughing, spluttering with rage. "What do you mean?" the gentleman asked sternly, frowning with haughty astonishment. "Get away, that's what I mean." "How dare you, you rabble!" He raised his cane. Raskolnikov rushed at him with his fists, without reflecting even that the stout gentleman was no match for true men like himself. But at that instant someone seized him from behind, and a police constable stood between them. "Ah, that's enough, gentlemen. No fighting, please. In a public space. What do you want? Who are you?" "No, sorry. That's enough, gentlemen. No fighting, please. In a public space." "What do you want? Who are you?" he asked. "God damn it, I fucked it up. Sorry." "That's enough, gentlemen. No fighting, please. In a public space. What do you want? Who are you?" he asked Raskolnikov, sternly, noticing his rags. Raskolnikov looked at him intently. He had a straightforward, sensible, soldierly face with a grey mustache and whiskers. "Ah, you are just the man I want!" Raskolnikov cried, grabbing his arm. "I am a former student, Raskolnikov. You may as well know that too," he added, addressing the gentleman. "Come along, I have something to show you." Taking the policeman by the hand, he dragged him towards the bench. "Look here, hopelessly drunk, and she has just come down the boulevard. There is no telling who and what she is, but she does not look like a professional. It's more likely she has been given drink and deceived somewhere, for the first time. You understand? And they put her out in the street like that. Look at the way her dress is torn. Look at the way it has been put on. She's been dressed by somebody. She hasn't dressed herself. and dressed by unpracticed hands, by a man's hands. That is evident. And now look here. I don't know that dandy I was going to fight just now. I seen him for the first time, but he, too, has seen her on the road. Just now, drunk, not knowing what she is doing, and now he's extremely eager to get hold of her, to get her away somewhere while she is in this state. That is certain. Believe me, I am not wrong. I saw him myself watching her and following her, but I prevented him, and he's just waiting for me to go away. Now, he has walked away a little and is standing still pretending to roll a cigarette. Think, how can we keep her out of his hands, and how are we going to get her home? The policeman saw it all in a flash. The stout gentleman was easy to understand. He turned to consider the girl. The policeman saw it all in a flash. The stout gentleman was easy to understand. He turned to consider the girl. The policeman bent over to examine her more closely, and his face worked with genuine compassion. "Ah, what a pity," he said, shaking his head. "Why, she's still a child. She has been deceived, that's right. Listen, lady," he began addressing her. "Where do you live?" The girl opened her tired and bleary eyes, gazed blankly at the speaker, and waved her hand. "Here," said Raskolnikov, filling his pocket and finding 20 kopecks. "Here, call a cab and tell him to drive her to her address. The only thing is to find out her address." Young lady," the policeman began again, taking the money. "I'll fetch you a cab and take you home myself. Where shall I take you, eh? Where do you live?" "Go away, won't you leave me alone?" The girl muttered and once more waved her hand. How awful. It's shameful, young lady, it's a shame." He shook his head, again shocked, sympathetic, and indignant. "It's a difficult job," the policeman said to Raskolnikov, and as he did so, he again looked up and down in a rapid glance. He too must have seemed a strange figure to him, dressed in rags and handling him money. Did you find her far from here?" "I tell you, she was walking in front of me, staggering just here, in the boulevard. She only just reached the bench and sank down to it." "Ah, the shameful things that are done in the world nowadays. God have mercy on us. An innocent creature like that, drunk already. She has been deceived, that is a sure thing. See how her dress has been torn too? And the vice one sees nowadays. And she probably belongs to general folk too, poor ones maybe. There are many like that nowadays. She looks refined too, as though she were a lady." And he bent over her once more. Perhaps he had daughters growing up like that, looking like ladies and refined, with pretensions to gentility and fashion. "The chief thing is," Raskolnikov persisted, "to keep her out of this scoundrel's hands. Why should he too outrage her? It's a clear as day that he's after. The brute, he's not moving off." Raskolnikov spoke aloud and pointed to him. The gentleman heard him and seemed about to fly into a rage again, but thought better of it, and confined himself to a contemptuous look. He then walked slowly another 10 paces away again and halted. "Keep her out of his hands we can," said the constable thoughtfully. "If only she tells where to take her. But as it is, young lady, hey, young lady!" He bent over her once more. She opened her eyes fully all of a sudden, looked at him intently, as though realizing something, got up from the bench, and started walking away in the direction for which she had come. No shame, won't leave me alone," she said, waving her hand again. She walked quickly, though staggering as before. The dandy followed her, but along another avenue, keeping his eye on her. Don't you worry, I won't let him have her," the policeman said resolutely, and he set off after him. "Ah, the vice we see nowadays," he repeated out loud, sighing. At the moment, something seemed to sting Raskolnikov. In an instant, everything turned over inside of him. "Hey here!" he shouted after the policeman. The latter turned around. Let it be. What is it to you? Let it go. Let him amuse himself." He pointed at the dandy. "What do you care?" The policeman was bewildered and stared at him open-eyed. Raskolnikov laughed. "Eh?" said the policeman with a gesture of contempt, and he walked after the dandy and the girl, probably taking Raskolnikov for a madman or something even worse. He has carried off my 20 kopecks," Raskolnikov murmured angrily when he was left alone. "Well, let him take as much from the other fellow and let him have the girl, so let it end. Why did I want to interfere? Is it for me to help? Have I any right to help? Let them devour each other alive. What is it to me? How did I dare give him 20 kopecks? Were they mine?" In spite of those strange words, he felt very wretched. He sat down on the deserted bench, his thoughts stayed aimlessly. In fact, he found it hard to fix his mind on anything at the moment. He longed to forget himself altogether, to forget everything, and then to wake up and begin anew. Poor girl, he said, looking at the empty corner where she had sat. She will come to her senses and weep, and then her mother will find out. She will give her a beating, a horrible, shameful beating, and then maybe throw her out. And even if she does not, the Daria Frantsvenas will get wind of it. The girl will soon be slipping out of the sly here and there. And right away there will be the hospital. That's always the luck of those girls with respectable mothers, will go to the wrong on the sly. And then again the hospital, drink, the taverns, and more hospital. In 2 or 3 years, a wreck. And her life over at 18 or 19. Have I not seen cases like that? And how have they been brought to? They all come to it like that. But what does it matter? That's as it should be, they tell us. A certain percentage, they tell us, must every year go that way to the devil. Suppose that's the rest may remain fresh and not be interfered with. A percentage. Oh, what splendid words they have. They are so scientific, so consolatory. Once you said percentage, there is nothing more to worry about. If we had any other word, maybe we might feel more uneasy. But what if Dunechka were one of the percentage? Or another one if not that one? But where am I going? He thought suddenly. Strange, I came out for something. As soon as I had read the letter, I came out. I was going to Dostoyevsky's island, right? To Razumikin. That's what it is. Now I remember. What for, though? How is it that the idea of going to Razumikin flew into my head just now? It's curious. He wondered at himself. Razumikin was one of his former comrades at the university. It was remarkable that Raskolnikov had hardly any friends at the university. He kept aloof from everyone, went to see no one, and did not welcome anyone who came to see him. And indeed, everyone soon turned away from him too. He took no part in the students' gatherings, amusements, or conversations. He worked with great intensity without sparing himself, and he was respected for this. But no one liked him. He was very poor, and there was a sort of haughty pride and reserve about him, as though he were keeping something to himself. He seemed to some of his comrades look down upon them all as children, as though he were superior in development, knowledge, and convictions, as though their convictions and interests were beneath him. With Razumikin, though, he had for some reason become friends, or rather, he was more open and communicative with him. Indeed, it was impossible to be any other terms with Razumikin. He was an exceptionally good-humored and communicative youth, kind to the point of simplicity, though both depth and dignity lay concealed under that simplicity. The better of his comrades understood this, and all loved him. He was a man of no small intelligence, though he was rather a simpleton at times. He was of a striking appearance, tall, thin, black-haired, and always badly shaved. He was sometimes rowdy and was reputed to be of great physical strength. One night, when out in a festive company, he had, with one blow, laid a gigantic policeman on his back. There was no limit to his drinking powers, but he could abstain from drink altogether. He sometimes went too far in his pranks, but he could do without pranks altogether. Although... Sorry, my eyes are glazing over. Another thing, striking thing about Razumikin, no failure ever distressed him, and it seemed as though no unfavorable circumstances could crush him. He could lodge anywhere and bear the extreme of cold and hunger. He was very poor and supported himself entirely on what he could earn by work of one sort or another. He knew of no end of resources by which to get money, though through work, of course. He spent one whole winter without lighting his stove, and he used to declare that he liked it better, because one slept more soundly in the cold. For the present, he too had been obliged to give up the university. But it was only for a time, and he was working with all of his might to save enough to return to his studies again. Raskolnikov had not been to see him for the last 4 months, and Razumikin did not even know his address. About 2 months before, they had met in the street, but Raskolnikov had turned away and even crossed to the other side so that he might not be observed. And though Razumikin noticed him, he passed him by, as he did not want to disturb a friend. And we enter chapter 5, but we are going to end our string here today. As you can see, Rhodia is a much deeper character than Limbus let on for us. That's why she deserves another canto, and I hope that is coming soon. In any case, that is it for today. We have finished our Mirror Dungeon, ID study, and book reading. So, if you enjoy my stream, enjoy the content, please recommend it to your friends. And if you did not like it and still watching, well, recommend it to your enemies then. If you wish to give some support here to the channel, please leave a like, a comment, a subscribe on YouTube, a follow on Twitch, and maybe a follow on Twitter as well. With all that said, thank you all once again, sweet kisses, and goodbye. Mwah.